Ms. Brickley?
Sure. I believe we have the number one priority here for the federal government is to keep Americans safe. And I think we have to work with peace through the country in the world will always be the most powerful in terms of the military, and that must continue to be the United States. We need to support our troops and our military leaders and give them the tools and the resources and the things that they need to do for those that are sacrificing their lives every day in order to keep us safe. We also need to take care of our veterans when they come home and honor them for their service and provide them with the medical attention and everything else that they need. In terms of our education, I think there's a lot of data out there that shows that spending isn't necessarily correlated with student achievement. There's information from the Sunlight Foundation that studies many of the school districts right here in Connecticut that shows some districts are spending a tremendous amount while others are spending much less and getting completely different types of results. We need educational reform, and that needs to start with school choice, charter schools, and competition. We also need to keep our metrics in line with student achievement and tie more of our teachers and our administrators' measurements to the achievements of the students. There's also some best practices from Europe. Having been a teacher myself in terms of teaching at corporations, one of the things that really bothers me in terms of education is that I see students in other countries working much harder, and I see us slipping in terms of our math and science and education and technology skills versus other countries. And I think we need to learn from what some other countries are doing in terms of the length of the school day and the amount of time that we're actually spending on some of the core curriculum versus time on other activities. In terms of how we spend our money, we have to get rid of wasteful spending, be it domestic, be it military, or any other areas. And one opportunity to reduce wasteful spending on the military side is the alternate to the Pratt & Whitney engine. Even though there's a perfectly good Pratt & Whitney Joint Strike Fighter engine, year after year after year, Congress votes to fund the development of an alternate engine to the tune of billions of dollars that have been wasted thus far. We need to stop efforts like that so we can focus our attention on the things that are more important to our country.
Thank you.
I take a pledge of allegiance to this country. And I take that pledge seriously. And I think the important thing in this discussion about Iraq and Afghanistan, I thank Ken for highlighting my record, is to distinguish between the war and the warrior and what we've been able to do on behalf of our troops. There's nothing more important. We have had the largest increase in the VA history. We've expanded the GI Bill so that people have the educational opportunities that they're going to need when they get home. We brought in people from around the country to make sure, including most recently Mr. Ray Jefferson at Central Connecticut, to talk about the ongoing retraining for our veterans when they come home. This is the most important thing that we can do for our veterans. But now, in order to eliminate the wasteful spending, we also have to bring those troops home. We can bring them home as President Obama has lived up to his commitment and unwound the war in Iraq, and we're on the schedule to do the same thing in Afghanistan. I, unlike anyone here, have been to Iraq. I've been to Afghanistan. I've talked with our troops in the field. My heart goes out to them. But these are the most dedicated individuals that you will find anywhere on the face of the earth. We all owe them a debt of gratitude, and most importantly, we owe them a safe return home with jobs waiting for them. That's what I'm out to do and out to accomplish, and that's what my record will indicate.
Thank you. To address it again. The next question is how would you address the large gap in student achievement within and among schools in Connecticut and the nation? Is it a matter of money for better trained teachers, or elimination of tenure or structure, or is it caused by poverty, a breakup of families, and lack of stable homes and neighborhoods? How would you, and I'm going to ask Ms. Brickley to answer this, how would you address this problem?
Thank you. Yes, we do need to address the problem of educational achievement. And as I mentioned earlier, in terms of my work with students across the world, it does disturb me that we are being outpaced by other countries, particularly in terms of their math, science, engineering, and technology education. The U.S. is frankly slipping. We need to do more to promote school choice. We have charter schools here in Hartford that are outperforming some of the public schools. I think the best way to get to a higher level of educational achievement for all students so that they can all meet their potential is to work on school choice, to set up metrics and rewards that tie student achievement to the rewards and measurements of the teachers and the school administrators, to give more local control to the schools and less to the federal government.
Thank you.
In the Recovery Act, and I'm pleased that Karen O'Connell, who has taught all three of my children in public school, is sitting in the audience tonight, we saved 5,000 teachers' jobs. The much maligned act saved not only teachers' jobs, but also police, firefighters, and emergency medical people. That's why it was important during this time. Especially, we cannot turn our backs on our children, the hardest to serve. There's a lot that needs to be done in education, not only in primary and secondary schooling, but also in our community colleges, especially, where we have to make sure that we're putting forward the money, and I've put forward both legislation and dollars that are going back to our communities. In Connecticut, our community colleges are going to lead the way. In the northwest corner, $300,000 for nursing that is desperately needed and it helped to create jobs, to supply Frida Turner with the kind of help that she needs, but also to make sure that our schools, both from a regional perspective from CREC, we got another $11 million that came in to help support those specific schools so that local community taxes would not have to be raised. And here in the city of Hartford as well, another $12 million to make sure that amongst those, and Nan, you hit it right, whether it's socioeconomic conditions, whether it's the need to have better academic performance around testing, but most importantly, no piece of legislation reads to a child at night. That can only come from the help and support of parents. And I'm proud of the support we've given our system.
Thank you.